Hello friends, and welcome to another Whisky Talk. And it's been a while since I've done one of these, and to prolong the anticipation, I'm not even going to talk about whiskey. We will have a dram later on though, that's for sure, but we're going to have it out of one of these things. Honey Oak Whisky Tumbler. This is new for me, never heard of these things before. Apparently they've been around for ages. Who knew? And when you think about it, the first drinking vessels were probably made out of wood or clay, right? Certainly those Celtic two-handled quaichs were certainly made out of wood, apart from the touristy ones that are made of pewter and stuff like that. But we're going to have a dram out of this later on, and we'll see what it's all about. Here it is. Oak Honey Whisky Tumbler, a perfect drinking experience. Nisnas Industries is this one. And they also suggest that, on the video anyway, that this is for the most part handmade and gets better with age. Also had all these images, rather kind of work hardened and worn smooth from obviously drinking vast amounts of whiskey. Mine's is not at that stage yet. It has this rather sharp, thick rim on it, which I'm going to have to get used to, I think. Gives you the impression that it was worn smooth from drinking whiskey by artisans in a rustic workshop. And I'm all about drinking whiskey in a workshop. What could possibly go wrong? Alcohol mixed with a bunch of lathes, drill presses, bandsaws. Sign me up. So can we drink out of it? Well, not so fast, because there is an insane amount of instructions and directions that we need to do first. And because I'm a nice guy, and in the best traditions of Blue Peter, here's one I prepared earlier. Proper maintenance and care. Waxing before using the tumbler. We recommend waxing the inside of the tumbler before use, just to make sure it is supple, as sometimes shipping can dry out the wood. I see. Cleaning instructions. Thoroughly wipe clean the inside and outside. Repeat several times after wringing the cloth out if you need to clean more carefully. All you need to clean your tumbler is a damp cloth, preferably cotton. Waxing the tumbler for maintenance. You should use the wax once every couple of months, or as you think is needed when the wood seems somewhat dry. After cleaning the tumbler, it is advisable to put on a layer of wax and working it into the wood in a circular fashion. Weekly regimens for long-term extra care. If you want to go the extra mile, here are instructions to help your tumbler last forever. Week 1, apply the beeswax daily with a non-terry small rag prior to going to bed to let it absorb overnight. Wipe down in the morning. Week 2 to 4, apply once a week for 1 month. Then after a month elapses, apply it once a month for the first year. After the first year, apply it every 6 to 12 months. You can store. Do not use the tumbler for hot drinks, as it may melt the wax. Didn't want that. Do not leave alcohol in the tumbler overnight for an extended period of time, as it will dry out the wood. Who is going to leave their whiskey? There's not going to be any whiskey left, buddy. This beautiful white honey oak is alive with the pungent aromas of sweet green forests, ripe with the fresh summer rains moistened from their journey across mountains and lakes and meadows of wheat, before finally caressing the canopies of the eager, voluptuous trees below. That's quite enough. Get on with it. I think it's either handmade or it isn't, right? I mean, the only way you could really say that this was handmade is if you whittled it out of a solid block of oak. And it's certainly not that in this case. And I know a whittler. Not a lot of people can say that, really, right? I know a whittler. But I do. He's not a full-time whittler. It's a hobby for him. I think it's a hobby because I wouldn't imagine that there's any jobs for professional whittlers, really, is there? Anyway, but to do this, I mean, that would take infinite patience and tremendous strength to whittle one of these out of a solid block of oak. And here's one of his pieces. I have it right here. Beautiful. All the way from Tilly-Tidlam. Now I don't want to show you too much of this because he told me that or suggested to me strongly that I should be applying walnut oil to this to keep it in fine fettle. And I haven't managed to do that yet. It's only had olive oil, pasta sauce and the odd Madras curry. But the point is, he had trouble with a spoon. Can you imagine him trying to whittle, or anybody for that matter, one of these out of a solid block of oak? Bit difficult. It's actually got some nice charring inside. It almost feels like chisel marks, almost, right? And there's different opinions even on that online. Some guys are saying I want it nice and smooth, I don't want to impart any of the wood flavour into the whiskey. And you've got other guys sort of saying, no, that's what you want. That's the whole point of this, is to, you know, there's supposed to be part of this oak which is going to transfer into the whiskey. Now, maybe you don't want that on a high quality whiskey maybe, but for maybe your jobbing whiskies or some of your blends, maybe this might add something. I don't know. So we will have a wee dram out of this. We talked enough about it. And what we'll normally have, well, you know what, I'm going to have one of these. Tomatin. You know why? Is because I did a video for these guys a couple of months back there, and I was kind of unfair. It was unfair because I kind of bad-mouthed it a little bit, and that was wrong, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, who cares what my opinion is like, right? I can only tell you if I liked it or not, and at the time I didn't. But as you can see, we've almost tanked this one, so we're going to give it a go. First one in this tumbler. Just a wee one, eh? Tuesday night. I mean, come on. Cheers, everybody. Well, straight away there's a massive difference, because you can you smell the tumbler just as much as you can smell the whiskey. I watched another video there, somebody told me I should, as I'm sniffing, tasting with my nose, whatever you want to call it, keep your mouth open, let the air circulate like this, prepare yourself before you drink it. First thing I have to go over is the thickness of this rim here. That's going to be so odd. See if it goes. Cheers. It definitely imparts a flavour on the whiskey for sure. This might work out okay. I'm surprised actually. It's a bit odd. It's a bit, I don't know if it's a gimmick, just a novelty or what it is, but can you imagine, some people might actually have these and they bring them along to their whiskey tasting evenings. I have my own tumbler with me. I would never do that. Not have my own tumbler, but I don't think I would ever go to one of these whiskey tasting evenings. Bunch of dudes all sitting around, pontificating, summarising. No thanks. Very nice. Only trouble is now I'm going to have to clean it with a damp cloth and wax it again. I'm away to wax my tumbler. So we have just had a wee dram out of this oak honey wooden whiskey tumbler. This one cost about $80 online. There's a multitude of them out there, and there's some really gifted craftspeople making some quality stuff, really ornate, beautiful pieces of art, really. And I'll leave the links in the description below to their videos. You should check them out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out again. Thanks for sharing a whiskey with me. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe as well, why not? There's nothing better to do. And if you're in Tilly-Tiddlem and you're looking for a wooden spoon, you know who to call. I'll see you later. Bye for now. Really? Well, I just spoke for about 10 minutes about a wooden cup.